All right, solid. So, all right, we'll get into it. Start off nice and easy. Mason Jones, former SEC Player of the Year at Arkansas. My guy personally has played with the Houston Rockets, the 76ers, spent some time with the Los Angeles Lakers, professional basketball player. One of my really good friends, someone I've known for a really long time, hell of a basketball player. So, Mason, if you want me asking you, what kind of made you fall in love with basketball?
Really, my siblings, you know what I mean? Just having a big sister that was a McDonald's All-American and having a big brother that was a McDonald's All-American. And, us, we played together when we was young, and then you know how that situation goes where you make that transition where if you're going to take basketball serious or not. I took this transition of not really taking it serious. So, but I had to find that love again, really. And I found the love just through my brother being able to go to his games against Duke and seeing how live it was, and really just being able to realize like, dang, this is how I want to play. Like I want to play here one day. So just seeing that and be like, all right, I know the road not gonna be easy. I already missed most of my high school career just uh BSing really, and knowing that okay, now I really want to play basketball. I want to get to D1. So like, all right, what's the route? And, I went prep, and then I went to Arkansas, and the rest was history from there. But yeah, just being around my brother and my sister and seeing how good they was and the legacy that they left at their colleges, like that's what I wanted to do. And that's like, all right, I gotta figure a way to get there. Like it might not be easy, but I'm gonna get there. You know what I mean? Just being able to work hard and just all right, just having that dedication, just like I gotta get it.
Well, for you guys don't know that are kind of listening out here. When me and Mason were little kids, we used to play with his older brother Matt down in the backyard. He used to smack us 2-on-1. So Matt was it
Bro,
Matt?
I be trying to tell them, Alex. I was like, bro, Matt was a certified killer.
Bro, he
I'm
used to
like,
smack us. We used to play him
man,
2-on-1, and me and Mason were good basketball players. You know what I'm saying? But he used to smack us 2-on-1, bro.
bro,
Two on
come on,
one in the backyard.
Alex. I be telling people they was like, why your brother stop playing basketball? I was like, man, he been the best since he been young. You know what I mean? People get tired of basketball. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's either you got the dedication to keep doing it, and like it's not even about dedication, really. It's about like man, situationship and like how much can you take, injuries, like how like is he lucky, like it's just so much to go into this basketball world that people don't really understand. You just gotta continue to take it. They don't know if people really love it. You know what I mean? Just like
yeah.
wow,
I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Like, not only do you have to have like a certain level of ability, but you got to have a certain love for the game that most people don't have. And I think that's what people get
right,
lost in. If you don't really
right,
love it, it's not going to really be for you at the end of the day.
not at all, not at all. That is true.
So, like, Mason, if you don't mind me asking you, like, kind of when you look at your goals specifically and kind of things you want to accomplish, kind of how do you go about approach achieving those things?
Um, I really just go one day at a time, but like I gotta understand, like I'm an underdog. I got the underdog story, and just knowing that the situation that I always been is not always been the best, but I always then had a great outcome because hard work. So just taking one day at a time and just really just understand, like, am I getting better than yesterday? That's one of the biggest things I always tell myself because at the end of the day, I love to work. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way you can continue to get better. That's the only way you can get better every year. But also every year my hard work goes up even more. Like I woke up this morning at 4 a.m. You know what I mean? Just like that's the little things that people don't really understand that matters in the next level. Like I like to be the first person in the gym, and that's why I always have good results every year. And that's why people always try to figure out like how is he doing this, how is he doing that. I mean, they don't understand like it's my preparation. Waking up in the morning, making more shots than many people, working out after practice. You know what I mean? That's the little things. You know what I mean? That's just how I see myself and how I understand like if I'm making progress or if I'm doing something right by did I go hard this day or did I take a cheat cake or did I try to take myself out of a situation I knew I should have did but I was lazy. You know what I mean? That's just being in situations like that is just can you hear me? Yep. Being
Yeah,
in
I can hear you.
situations like that is just just it helps me learn, but it also builds maturity. It also builds like the depth that you need to have for the basketball because it always goes outside basketball. Just because you're in the NBA don't mean that that's cool. You're playing basketball, but it's so much more than basketball.
And a little bit, Mace, I know you went to obviously prep school and junior college. You talked about that a little bit. What did you learn about yourself on that journey?
I learned a lot. I mean, prep school was probably one of the biggest things in my life. Just knowing like that was like my only option at the time, and Ma- Antonio McKenzie just taking the opportunity to give me a scholarship where we had one of the best prep school teams that year, and just him doing a favor for me to understand who I was and just giving me the opportunity to learn about myself. And I really took that really very very serious, and that was probably one of the best years probably I had. But I learned. Oh my God, bro, what is going on here? There we go. So many people. That's man. But yeah, like I was saying though, it's I learned so much from prep and ah the faith. You know, what I mean, just being a Christian, just learning how I got baptized there again. That was my second time getting baptized, and the second time was probably the most what's the word I could say? Probably the most. I'm gonna just keep it simple. Very satisfying. You know, what I mean, just me understanding who I really wanted to be, and just put all the things that was holding me back that I thought aside. And when I found out who I was, and I found out, and I actually wanted to do something in my life, that's where I found it out in prep school. And going from prep, I went JUCO, and I knew exactly what I needed to do. You know what I mean? My family, they didn't see me for a whole 2 years. You know what I mean? I just wanted to lock in. My dad and my mom, they came to games occasionally, but like otherwise, my friends and my family, they didn't see me because I just wanted to be one of them people where I just locked in to where I want to be. You know what I mean? I knew I was behind the race. I knew there was a lot of the steps I needed to take, and I knew there was more people ahead of me. And I just felt at the time I just needed to lock away and just really focus on me. And I went to prep school, left the second best player in junior college as a freshman, and you know, what I mean, I was committed to Central Arkansas. That's a low major, and I decommitted because faith. You know, what I mean, I just had the faith that I was better than Central Arkansas, and I was grateful for the opportunity having that scholarship because in junior college it's so hard to get scholarships. But I just knew I needed to take that gamble. I knew how hard I worked, and I just knew the situation I needed better.
You kind of went perfect right into my next question. I was going to ask you, obviously, when you decided to go to Arkansas, what was the specific reason that you chose to go there?
Man, that's crazy you say that. I went to Arkansas because one of my big bros, Jabril Durham, he went to Arkansas. And you know what I mean? I was always big on watching him and Bobby Portis and Michael Qualls play with my one of my best friends, Ike Durham. You know how that is. So I was always telling myself like I'd never go to Arkansas. But then when it came to it, you know, what I mean, Arkansas was recruiting me hard and I really liked what I was hearing. And I was talking to Jabril and I was like he was just telling me like why would you not want to do that? Like it's good to be a hog. And you know, that was one of the best decisions I ever made, just knowing that Coach Cleveland and Coach Mike Anderson took a chance on me, but also just the development that I had with Coach Muss and being able to learn how to be a pro, be able to learn that never hard work always pays off. You know what I mean? Just knowing that he always told me like have a pro mentality, wake up in the morning, work out at night, work out all day, and that's what I did. And you know, I just going from there, it just installed me to the league, to what I'm doing now, and just situations like that. Just were like, okay, I've been in this situation, so how do you handle it?
And when you were younger, obviously, and you hadn't developed your game all the way yet, how you able to kind of keep yourself going and kind of keep yourself motivated?
Man, that was hard. You know what I mean? Like that was very hard, actually. Like to be honest with you, like you should know this, and I think a lot of people know this that I just stopped playing basketball because I wasn't motivated. You know what I mean? It took a lot out of me. You know what I mean? Just knowing that how good we was at a young age and how much pressure that you felt that you was getting put on. Like Alex, you know the stories. Like we was together for a lot of our young days. So, you know, just feeling that and just understanding that at the end of the day, I wanted to be a kid. Like, I feel like looking back at that now, like it really helped me. You know what I mean? Just learning who I was in the beginning, not letting like people tell me what I should be doing and what I needed to do, but I wanted to do what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Not saying that as a bad thing, it's just saying like I just wanted to be a kid, you know what I mean? Like your parents want you to do one thing, but you want to do another, and you usually go with your parents. Like sometimes you gotta step up for yourself. I mean, just being there, you know what I mean? Just learning that you just gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta make sure you go with your gut and fight the punches.
Yeah, and for a lot of people that don't understand out there, especially younger kids who might be looking at this and watching this, that might be highly recruited or highly regarded at a young age, you got to continue to kind of see things as something like, okay, I got to make sure I'm still loving it when I'm playing it. Because I think that's something that happened, obviously, you at some point in time, and me as well, is that when people were like, oh, like, you guys are the best, you're the best, you're some of the best players in the country, and you're in fourth and fifth grade, that can be a lot for a young kid to deal with. So if you lose
Facts.
that kind of, if you lose, you lose that love for it, it's kind of hard to kind of go because everywhere that you're going, everywhere that you're playing, everybody's coming at you. They heard
Yeah, and
about,
they come on.
they heard about you there.
No, go ahead.
Nah, I was just saying they heard about you. They're like, oh, Mason Jones, Alex Overino, whatever, from Texas. I heard that they were the best duo in the South. Wherever we
Facts,
go.
and then we go on, and then we start running into like another thing. Like
Yeah,
we saying like fourth, fifth, sixth grade, but like our class, Jason Tatum,
yeah,
Bam,
yeah.
Fox, Carson, like we always like we still all talk to this day. It's just like, man, we all grew up and we were some killers. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Our parents always wanted us to beat the other team, and they was taking it more serious. And the Kanye West card rides, you know, man, that's hey, you know how that be, man. That's them the things I cherish when I talk to friends now. Like you look back, you like, dang, like that's how you build friendships. Like even through the things that you didn't like at the time, like you look back and you get older and you be like, there's a reason why I learned that situation, but I'm glad I handled that situation like that because I wouldn't be able to learn what I learned if I never would have did it.
I totally agree on that. And when it comes to like something that continues to push you, even on the days that you aren't feeling your best, kind of how do you go about that?
Um, I think I go about it by just knowing where I came from. Like I know that at any given day, anything can happen. At any given day, you can have nothing. At any given day, you can go from the top to the bottom. You know what I mean? You can go from the bottom to the top. You know what I mean? Just any, you never know how what the day is going to give you. So I just go hard every day. I try to make sure I'm keep the main thing. The main thing I control the things I can control because there's so much things you can't control in the world that I live in and the world that we all live in and the industry that I do as being in the NBA. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you wish you could have, but you can't get. There's a lot of things that you wish you can show that you can't show, but you got to continue to keep the main thing, and working hard. And that's one of the biggest things I learned every year. Just what is the littlest thing? Like this year, I control to be patient. You know what I mean? I just want to be patient. I know that I feel like I showed more that I did a lot, and I thought I should have been rewarded but this might not be the time, you know what I mean? And that's just one of the things you continue learning every year. You be like, okay, you got to find enjoyment. You know, what I mean? I had a great year, and you don't know what happens from it. You don't know if your reward comes 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, a month, a year. Like you got to stay the course, and that's just where I go with every day. I'm gonna wake up in the morning tomorrow, 4 a.m., go to weights at 6 a.m. You know, it's just I like to keep things mental. I like to keep my space clear, and I just like to do the things that you know what I mean continue to get me better, but also keep me clear.
And when you were at your obviously lowest in your basketball journey, how were you able to kind of pull yourself through that?
Really just really just being in the gym, really. You know what I mean? Just I feel like the gym saved me a lot, even in college, you know what I mean? It kept me out of trouble. It kept me away from a lot of things, you know what I mean? Because you go to college and you see so much, you can do so much, that everybody's catering to you. But I had the approach where I just, if I stayed in the gym and I kept the main thing, I'd be okay. You know what I mean? I never got in trouble. Always clear everything, but I always did what I wanted people to know me as a basketball player that took it serious, but also one that really was good at it. And that's why I always stay in the gym, you know what I mean? Because I really be in the gym than party. I know that at the end of the day, my team counts on me more than a lot of other people because they're my teammates and they want to win as much as I want to win. So if I know they expect a lot from me, as much is given, much is required. And, you know, I just wanted to continue to give them production on a consistent basis, but also knowing that to do that, you got to stay in the gym and you got to be able to do it every night.
Mason, when you won obviously your AP SEC Player of the Year, how did you kind of approach that season? Was there anything different than what you had done in the past?
Oh, it was. You know what I mean? I just started working out. I just started waking up way earlier. You know what I mean? I wasn't waking up at 5 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. every morning my sophomore year. I mean, because I was content. And to be honest with you, I was content that I made it D1. I did a lot of things people would never. I did a lot of things people said I would never do. So I was like, okay, I made a D1. Like, and I went to Arkansas SEC school. So my head sophomore year, I'm like, okay, I see a lot of people still at low majors, all these other schools, and I'm judging them because, oh, I didn't went higher than them. And that was where I caught myself my junior year. I was like, my focus shouldn't be on trying to get back to people that said I wouldn't be here or said I wouldn't be D1 or say I would never start in the SEC school. It's about me now. You know what I mean? Like I got here for a reason and I need to do what I need to do. And that was like, all right, that's where I need to keep my head at. I don't need to worry about all the other situations and how I should be looking at this. I need to worry about the main thing.
And if you mind me asking you, Mason, kind of tell me what it was like scoring 16 plus points in an NBA game in your hometown. Mind you that you scored 24 the week before against the Spurs. What was that kind of like
No,
for you coming
man.
home?
It was crazy, you know what I mean? Just having that feeling of being able to play at the crib and also doing good and also being able to really contribute to a win, that was a lot. And me being a rookie and not touching the G League my whole rookie year and being able to play against Luka and them guys and be able to showcase that, that was good. And then I was able to showcase some more last year with the Lakers. But you know what I mean? It's just situations like that where you the situation is what you have to take it. You know, and you just got to control what you control, and you just got to continue to fight the battles. Because I had a great 2 weeks with the Rockets and the 36 games I played with them, and then we started tanking. You know what I mean? We got a lot of people started getting hurt, and then we started tanking. I didn't understand, and that's where I got in a position where I was asking questions, and in the league, you don't ask questions as a rookie. You don't understand them things until you go through situations like that where you have to learn, and that's why I say every situation is learnable because you learn them things now where it don't affect you later. Where last year I was with the Lakers the whole year and didn't get cut. I always wanted to tell myself like the first situation is to make the team, but also not to get cut. You gotta and the things not to get cut is to work hard, and everybody on the team, first and last, do the little things, say hey, make help on people's days. You know what I mean? Bring people stuff like them the things that would keep you in the look, to keep you in the league, and also help you build up to the position where you want to be too.
And kind of out of all the NBA stars you had a chance to work out with or play with, who's kind of had the most impact on you so far?
I think I say either Dwight Howard or LeBron because you know what I mean. Me and Brian we real close to this day still. I was just with him last week in Dallas, and we worked out 6 a.m. I was the first person there at 5 a.m. Brian coming at 6 a.m. and just learning from that whole work that method where he did it every day. He was consistent, you know what I mean, and just to see that from a great all-time leading scorer, like like that's the method. Like consistency. Like, can he do it every day on a good day, on a bad day, on a day where he don't feel it, on a day where he's sick, still doing it. You know what I mean? That's just how you be great, and that's what I learned. Just being with Dwight is just keeping the game fun. You know, what I mean, just being around him, he kept it fun. You know what I mean? The workouts was fun, and that's the little things you need to have in the NBA too. You gotta have people on the court that's gonna continue to make it fun because in the NBA it's fun when you make it. And it's hard if you're not having fun. So at all times, if you're having fun, it's easy, but if not, it's hard.
And this is my last question for you, Mace. Kind of, if you had to start over as like a middle school or high school kid, would there be anything that you would approach differently?
I think, bro, Alex, I literally tell myself every day, like, if I knew anything, I would have took middle school and high school extra serious, because it's looking back at it now, like all it is hype. You know what I mean? It's just potential. Oh, is he good in high school? Like, did he show a lot in high school to get the potential? Like, if I knew how serious high school was, oh my God, Alex, I tell myself every day, like, I can only imagine myself if I really worked as hard as I did now in high school, like how good I'll be and like how much I have and the situation I'll be in better, like you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like I feel like every situation happens in everybody's life. Like I needed to go down the road I did to to feel what I have now. You know what I mean? Just to understand like the situation where I'm at, to understand there could be worse, to understand there's better, but there's always a place where you can just be there and be like, okay, this is where I'm at. How can I go up?
That was my last question for you, Mace. Obviously, like always, bro, I appreciate you. The fam says hi. Mom was asking about you. I was like, I'm talking to Mason today. She told me to tell you that she loves you. She's proud. She's proud of you. She loves you, and she told you to keep going.